Good morning, one and all. It's Sunday the 23rd of May. I hope you're all well. Got quite a lot to go through this lovely Sunday morning. I hope it's nice and dry where you are and warm. The weather's not been great, so there we go. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit to go through today. And obviously, as you may be aware, we have a new build series as such to go through on the Sunday. I'm going to do some of it live, and I'm going to do some of it not live. Today is all live, and we're just literally going to go through what's on the bench, what's been going on, what's going on the Facebook page, group builds, your work, all that sort of stuff. And then we'll go on to the actual build itself, rumble in the jungle. So come to that in a minute or two. Quickly, hello. We've got 9 people watching, and make sure you say hello in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you give permission for your details to come up on or shared with StreamYard, and that way it makes it easier for me. Otherwise, I have to keep looking at different screens and stuff. So first in this morning was Quanaman saying hello with lots of symbols. Next up is Ross Medlock saying good morning. We've got Malcolm Charles saying hello. And Don Pedro saying, hi, James, I'm back. Yay! Yeah, so that's everyone's messages so far. 10 people watching, so, you know, say hello. Tell me what you're up to today. Tell me what you got planned and what's on the bench and all that sort of stuff. That's good. So what I think we'll do is we'll head straight over to the Facebook group there's a couple of things in which I need to go through. So if you may have noticed in the opening sequence, we have, or I have, now started a space in which you can buy me a coffee. Now, I do want to make a couple of things clear with this. Let's just highlight that so it's full. There we go. So it's a pinned post, and it's basically just to say to you that I've opened up an account, if you like, with Buy Me a Coffee. It's very similar to Patreon in some respects. There is a minimum amount of money for a cup of coffee. It's a couple of quid, I think, off the top of my head. And the reason for that is I funded the Facebook group for the prizes for the group build, etc., since its creation. And I'm hoping that we can, between us all as a group, rather than try and persuade you to have a membership fee, if you like, it's just that when you're feeling in the mood to buy me a cup of coffee, and those funds will literally go towards paying for the prizes and bits and pieces. Now, the other thing that will be coming up, I hope, fairly soon, is that you may or may not have noticed on the YouTube channel, is that we're getting very close to the 1,000 mark. We're about 35, 36 away from that. It'd be lovely to achieve that this year. I do appreciate that I do need to do a bit more content to make it a little bit more exciting and worthwhile. And there are plans and stuff to come. But I'm waiting on stuff to arrive and all that sort of stuff. I won't bore you with it. Plus, also had some issues with my health as well. So, anyway, I won't dwell on that. But yes, so if you fancy supporting the Model Officers Mess with a donation or a cup of coffee, the link is there. It's pinned post. You click on the link. It's all self-explanatory. On that group as well, you have got the ability to follow what's going on, and I suggest that you do that. The reason being is in the future, near future to a degree, sometime this year, we will set up, or I will set up some levels, if you like, of membership, of which there will be some things on offer. Now, with that, if we do start that and we do go down that road, there will be special items that will only be obtained through that method. But I will go through that in a much better and more precise way once we've got it all up and running. So that's there. By all means, get involved with that. So let's stop that for a second. So yeah, buy me a coffee. It's a simple way of just supporting the group. We will obviously still do our calendars and other promotional things that we do from time to time. I say promotional, I don't make any money from it. No money's put aside for that at all. It's when that happens, it's just purely you pay for the costs of what's produced, and any profit thereafter is always sent off to our chosen charity, which is Models for Heroes, as you know. Let's have a quick look at the chat there just to make sure we're up to date with it. We've got Malcolm saying, today I'm working on catching up with YouTube's podcast in the background. Yay! Great way to catch up with stuff. Ian Douthwaite is saying good morning to everybody. And Ross Medlock is working on the last 3 of the... I'm going to mispronounce that. Oh, those. Wardens. I'm not even going to try because I'll muller it. And then we've got Mark there from Edinburgh Modelling Man Cave saying, good morning all. More coffees needed to keep me awake. Nice to see you back. James, you're on your Sunday show. Yes. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And we've got Eric there as well. It's a good morning to everyone. So that's everyone with a chat. It's a nice segue, Mark, actually, in relation to the Sunday parade. I'm not going to lie, I lost my mojo with it quite a bit. And mainly because I planned to do certain things and they weren't falling into place, waiting on supplies and blah, 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 blah. So I won't do the Sunday parade unless I've got something worthwhile to do. So with that in mind, next week we'll be on, but then after that it will be a fortnightly program of the Sunday parade. So it'll be every other week, and then what we'll do is we may drop something in on the odd weeks, which will be a recorded thing that won't be live. That's what I'm thinking. So there may be some content, there may not, but there'll definitely be a Sunday parade every 2 weeks, starting from next week. The reason for that is real life things. On those particular weekends, I've got time to do it, whereas the alternative weekend, it's literally I've got one day and that's it from work. So I need to be using my noddle a little bit. Plus, there's some other bits and pieces coming up, which will be announced in the very near future. Some projects involving Carl from Making Models and some other bits and pieces as well, but that's all to come. So the other thing in which I wanted to share with you was your work, obviously. So let's go over and do that right now. 17 people watching. Please make sure you say hello, so we know what you're there and everyone's fine. Let's just get rid of that notification. Don't need that or that. Right. So this is Saturday's What's on Your Bench. Obviously, I post up in the Model Officers Mess, if you're not aware, What's on Your Bench post on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And we generally will go through the Saturday's work on the parade. So that will change slightly, obviously, because we're going to be doing it fortnightly. So watch out for the posts, but we will be featuring your work as well anyway. So first up is Rob. This is his AAVP 7A1 in painting in progress. So yeah, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I like that. Next up is Andrew Cox with his AF Club Notion. The picture doesn't communicate how complex a build this is. Only the fighting compartment sub-assemblies are done. Next, I will move on to the big 88mm gun. Wow. It sort of does, actually. That is quite complicated. It's just quite a lot there. A lot going on. I like that a lot. Thank you, Andrew. Next up is this. Oh, wow, look at that. That is amazing. Gustav, sorry. This is Gustav. He's building a house. And I can't remember what he used. I think I'm right in saying he used cork. And the beams are balsa wood, I think, off the top of my head. Beautiful work. I love that. In fact, I haven't said it, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to give it a big love. Oh, this is me. Getting there with the inside out box diorama. We'll come to that, back to that in a minute or two. But yeah, that's me planning, plodding along, getting some progress done yesterday. It's a very simple little build, but it's for a friend at work. I also managed to clean the ops room, as you can see, all cleaned down and made it clean and tidy. I do like a good clean workspace. Just going to whiz through these. There we go. And this is Rob Paris. The next, this is his Airfix Jag, all painted. Nice. Not sure what scale that is, but I'm sort of suspecting that is 1/72. Interesting. If you're watching, Rob, tell me so I know. It'd be interesting to see whether I was right or wrong. Dan Cook up next, working on his big gun. little bit of progress there. Dan's busy working away on his builds at the moment. Good to see him doing some stuff. And this is Bass, a little more color added. And this is is it DR9, I think, off the top of my head, from Meng. And wow, that is awesome. Loving the blade, really loving the blade. That's great work. This is a fantastic kit. Seen a few of those done now, and you just get better and better every time I see them. More appealing to me is what I mean by that. It's not a subject that really floats my boat, but every time I see them, I'm tempted. This is Michael. Last week I posted the picture on the right. I had painted the German camo on the schmuck, which is not correct, so I am changing it on this guy at the moment. A bit annoying since I was happy with the initial painting, but I think the new camo scheme looks pretty good. So the one on the right is how it was, and the one on the left is how it is. Yes, I like it. Really cool. Really cool. That's not a camo I've tried before, so hats off to you. It looks a little bit complicated, I've got to be honest. I'm sure it'll be brilliant once it's done. This is Graham. This is a Fokker 1 triplane by the look of it. Might even be the Meng boxing, but no information there, Graham. So, but yeah, it looks great from what we see. More pictures, please. This is Eric. He's working on various parts of the Morris tractor and the 40mm Bofors gun. Coming along. Good progress there, Eric. I did a Bofors gun just recently, and I, to be honest, it wasn't something in which I thought I'd like enjoy, but I really did enjoy making it. This is David Turner. A bit more done on HMS Hood. I really wish I had waited with the painting now. Didn't think it through though very well. Oh well, live and learn. Yes, indeed, you will always learn as you go through every build. So you learn a little bit here and a little bit there. Nice progress though. And that's a 1720, I believe, scale from Atelieri. Cool. Next up is Julian. Julian's working on his Airfix 149th Albion 3-point fueler. Wow, that's tiddy. 149th, odd scale, isn't it? I wonder if that's meant to be the 148. I should think that's meant to be 148. I don't think they do a 149th scale. But if it's one, I think it is. It's a good little kit. Goes together pretty well. Yeah, it's 148, isn't it? More done on the Trumpeter 148 Vickers Wellington Mark III as well. Nice bombs there and wheelage. Nice work, Gillian. Oh, there's more. Don't you worry, there's more. Don Pedro. This is his Atelieri BMW 1. Oh, is it 1/9 or 1/16? 1/9, I think it is. Motorbike with sidecar. It's not an easy kit. There are some certain parts here that are a bit of a pain, I've got to be honest. But he's done a cracking job on this. Even worn down the number plate a little bit. Carl from Making Models is building this. in a build series on YouTube, and he's not at this point yet, but I am assured that there's an LED in the back of there. Just amazing work done. I think you've got to stop model making to give us all a bit of a chance. Yeah, it's cracking. Really cracking. Nice simple bass, but it really makes it sing as well. So I think I showed that one, didn't I? Sorry. Look at that. Really nice. Really, really nice. Such difference in textures and weathering and wear and tear on it. It's just really, really cool. Really cool. I know for a fact these wheels are a bit of a pain, because you have to clean up. A lot of cleanup involved. But he's made a cracking job, hasn't he? It's lovely done. Really is lovely. And I love the fact he spoils it because of lots of pictures. There we go. Look at that. I love that. And he's even highlighted the writing on the wheels. Brought those out. Subtle, very subtly, but brought them out. Looks great. Just really great. Last one from Don. This is from above. And like I say, it's just a very subtle wooden base. It's all you need. Don't want anything to take away from the bike itself. And last but no means least is Eric, finally getting into some work on the BF 109 cockpit. So there you go. That's what everybody's been working on this week. So yeah, fantastic. Really, really good. Let's just head over to the chat, make sure we're up to date with everything. We've got Panzer saying hello. Hey mate, how you doing? We've got a Facebook user there saying good morning all. And I'll be completely honest, I am not ready to be able to know who that is. If you are watching on Facebook, like I say, give permission to StreamYard to use your name on the StreamYard. And I am busy looking at the other screen to try and find the person that is. And can I find it? Love the money. No, is the answer. If I refresh the page. Anyway, while we're doing that, Don is there. Say good morning, Danny. Nat Dexterous Craft saying good morning, James, and everyone in the chat. Indeed. And Don just reminding me that it is the 1/9 BMW from Atelieri. I think I said 1/9, or did I say something? I can't remember. Doesn't matter anyway. Facebook user, I believe, was Danny. So good morning, Danny. Don Pedro saying sorry. Don't be. Honestly, it's great work. And Dan just saying there that the BMW looks even better if you see it in real life. Yeah. And he's just saying, sorry, it's me, Danny. No, it's okay, Danny. It's no problem. Don't apologise. 20 people watching. Thank you all for being with me on this Sunday morning. I hope you've had a nice bit of breakfast. I just had coffee so far. I haven't had anything else. So I'm just going to have a sip of this, and then we'll head over to the bench and we'll have a chat about what we're going to be doing. Let me put that over there out of the way. Sorry. Really dry mouth today. Anyway, so let's head over to the bench, like I said. Right, so let me just quickly show you because I didn't show you in that what I've been working on. Obviously, we have the finished interior of our inside out diorama. Obviously, a box frame. Put some pictures up in a mess this morning to show you how that's worked out when it goes on with the frame on front. But obviously, I haven't built the box part of it yet. That I'm going to do this afternoon because I want to get this finished and presented to the person it's for tomorrow, or well, this week anyway. So hopefully tomorrow, but it'll be this week. And get that off my desk. But it's been a great little build, great fun. The only thing I'm slightly upset about is obviously my marbles. You can see them there slightly, I would think. They were very sparkly when I put them in, but the use of some super glue has turned them quite frosty. I'm a little disappointed, but it is what it is, so it's fine. I've got a little bit of touching up here to do where the super glue's leaked a little bit. This is all cardboard, it's cardstock. So yeah, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but yeah, a little bit of touching up here and there. But I'll be honest, I'm happy enough with it. Like I say, that will go into its box frame and off to its owner this week. So that's that done. The other thing in which I had done, which I'm not sure I showed you or not, but I'll show you again anyway. It's not a big deal. So this is my practice piece, my attempt with some cardstock. Now, what I say when I mean cardstock, what I actually mean, because I'm completely prepared for this to show you, is just in a drawer below my desk here, so that's handy. But this is all I've used: basic cardboard, different thicknesses, like so, as you can see. Oh, like so. There we go. Different thicknesses of cardboard, and all you do is you just build it up in layers to give yourself a 3D effect. The only thing I've added to this is again in a different drawer. Oh, I'm doing well, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I've used is a little bit of fabric trim, which is this bit that goes there. I thought there was more on that roll, but there's not a lot on there at all. But anyway, it's fine. It cost me £1. It's giving me a nice bit of detailed trim there. So what I'll do is go on to this, and we can come in a little bit closer. He says, play with the focus again, and make it a bit crisper. So yeah, so that's the detail in there. Really simple idea, but quite effective. Really wanted to give that a go. Been watching people with doing card buildings, etc. Really happy how that come out. So there you go. That's what I've been up to. That's what's been on my bench. And just pop this out of the way because there's a lot more to be done today. So, Rumble in the Jungle. What is all that about, James? You've not explained. So, I'll just clear this screen and I will share with you. Basically, I have purchased a kit that I've been after for quite a while now. And it is this one just here. And it is from a company called Parcel Miniatures. They're a Vietnamese model company. And what comes in the kit, I hear you ask, and I will show you because I'm so all over the place this morning. So this is the actual physical kit. Now I've got screens all over the place and I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, this is the physical kit, all resin. As you can see, there's not a lot to it. We've got the main body area, the head, there is a tail there, and ears, obviously. So it's nice and easy. And we'll stop sharing that now. So I couldn't wait to start, so I've actually gone ahead and I've put the body together, as you can see here. And what this depicts is the Viet Cong supplied their troops through the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and trails from Laos, etc. And they used elephants to bring their supplies in through jungle trails. So that's the elephant. Let me see if I can, bear with me. Let me get rid of that. Bring that in. So if I bring you a little bit closer and just make sure you can see the detail there on the elephant itself. There we go. So it's quite a nice, the detail, surface detail is really cool, really nice. The only thing I would say to it is that obviously, as you can see by the green marks, there's quite a bit of filler and things didn't fit 100% correctly. However, there is a possibility that this may have been a remold from where I purchased it from. I don't think it was. That's not what I purchased. I don't really like to support that sort of thing, though I know it can be cheaper. But this particular kit is, oh God, blimey, top of my head, I think it was just under the £100. It's quite expensive. They're not available anymore. This is a female African elephant. There is a male one that would obviously have the tusks, etc. But it's a lovely little mold. And then obviously on top of that elephant goes the pack with all of the goodies that is being supplied. Nice and crisp. A little bit of cleanup here and there, but on the main part of the build itself, it is crisp and nothing to clean off. Underneath, slightly different. Slightly different thing going on there, but it takes a little bit of trouble. But that goes on our elephant like so. And then, of course, we've got our figure itself. Now, I'm going to try and bring this in as best I can. There we go. So, yeah, it seems a bit of a strange thing. It's 1/35th, but it feels almost as if the figure is a 1/48th. I'm not sure it feels chunky enough, but crisply molded. No problems, even into the detail of, you can see that is flip-flop. So a little bit of cleanup to do on here. Still got a little bit of the resin come off there. So that's our figure. He would sit on the elephant like so, and then we've got a basket that's added to the side of our stowage. And if you can see that, hopefully that's coming out. It's really crisp. The detail on it is lovely. And once you've painted that, and thrown a wash over that, that's going to really pop out. There's loads there to pop out, and just that'll be stunning. So there's that. And then obviously in a bag here, I've got a couple of hats or helmets that I can put on our figure. So let us zoom in and hopefully get that into focus. So forgive me, because obviously it's a lot to hold on here in place, but that is our figure. We're going to work on that during the week, because I'm not sure it's going to be that interesting really for you to watch me paint a figure. So, but what I'll do is I'll take some pictures as we go along, because obviously this is all now sanded down with a filler and ready for primer. I'm going to hopefully get that primed today, and that will show any other issues that need to be resolved before we go forward with the full paint job on it. So I need a base. Now, I've obviously got excited and got carried away, so I've made the base already. All I've done is a little bit of foam, as you can see. I've cut it down, made a bit of a surface here that I want to make sort of rocky and vegetation-y, and then built up some layers here that I'm going to make into rocks, basically. Again, it's a mountain sort of trail, so as you can see, it's a bit sloping down, and then what we'll do is we'll put our elephant on there like so. But there's a lot to be done to that before I can go any further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the base effect in a minute. He says, let's come out. What I want to do first is just double check I'm up to date with the chat, and then we'll move forward. I've got some other bits and pieces of which I'm going to be using, but I'll go through that in a moment. So, where are we? Yes, so we've got Mark. He says, clicking. There's Mark. Mark Shellard saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mark. Nice for you to join us. And this is giving me love for some reason. Bear with me while the computer wakes up. There you go. Don's just saying that next weekend he will make some close pictures of the details. Good. Look forward to that. He's also saying that the building that I made is looking good. Thank you very much. Obviously, you're talking amongst yourselves as well. Mark's just saying there, I love the resin kit, James. Definitely something completely different, and I'm sure you'll make a grand job. Oh, bless your heart. Yes, it is something I've been looking at for a long time. So, Dan is just saying it, nice kit. And he's also asking what scale it is. It's 1/35. And as I say, if you want to check it out, you're looking for Parcel Miniatures, based in Vietnam. So yeah, we're up to date with the chat. 22 people will be watching. So yeah, so that's the base. We're gonna fiddle about with that in a minute. I'm going to use some dry clay on that. The other things that I'm going to be using throughout this build is some vegetation. Now, this vegetation here is paper card. It's from LSG laser kits, and these are actually now been taken over by Yen Models, based in Belgium. So we've got some paper ones there. We've also got some of these as well, which come from Yen Models, and these are actually what's the word I'm looking for? The plastic. These are actually plastic leaves, which I've not used before. Come in different designs, different sizes, etc. Palm leaves. We're going to use some of those. We're going to use, that's for our vegetation, we're going to use some wire because we're going to make some palm trees. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to start with our base. And what I'll do actually is I shall just slide this one out of the way. Anyone's got any stickers they want me to have, by all means get in contact with me and we can sort something out, I'm sure. Finally got around to putting them on there. So what I'm going to, I've got this mat because I'm going to get a bit dirty and I don't want to get that one covered in stuff. So like I said, to do our base, I'm just going to use some Das clay, some modeling clay, and all I want to do is just give myself a nice surface over this. Now, if you do buy this stuff, you can keep it for quite some time, but all I would say to you is make sure you keep it in a sealed container and make sure that you keep it in a room that's not too hot so you don't get it drying out on you. So that's all it is, just a little bit of Das clay, and what we're going to do is just going to work it into our foam like so. Knock this base up. I was going to do this so it was all prepared for today, but I thought that maybe, I don't know whether you guys would want to see how I did this or not. So I decided to go with the latter because obviously I can move on to other bits and pieces later on So we're busy, and all I'm literally doing is a very thin layer of clay. Now this is air drying clay. Now I could cheat, I could get a hairdryer out and give it a good drying out, but force drying clay is not the best idea. It's not really a great idea. So I would suggest don't do that. Let it naturally dry. And all I'm doing literally is, as you can see, is just a little bit of time and patience. Now what I've not got, will take me 2 seconds to get, is a little container of water. Dip your finger in. You can smooth out the surface a little bit. So if you've not used this stuff before, it's really kind stuff. It's really good stuff to do. Obviously, you're going to have to prime your surface before you paint it. And if it cracks a little bit, don't worry about that too much. Because you can get around it, like I say. And obviously, because I'm making a rocky surface, the cracks will actually help me. It's not a bad thing. But obviously, like I was saying, it's difficult to know quite how much you guys want to see this from start to finish and what may or may not be interesting. So what we're going to do after I've done this is I'm going to, obviously I've said that we're going to make some vegetation for our diorama. Now, because it's based in the jungle, it could be lots of thick undergrowth, etc. It'll be trees, all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do this, quickly get this on. You get the idea of what I'm doing anyway. We're just covering over our foam. That's all it is just normal foam, nothing too extravagant. Now, this top section, this bit here, I quite like the form that I made. All that is the corner off here. And I cut it off with using a Stanley knife, just a normal knife that you would use in construction industry. And it's given me quite a rocky sort of surface. So I'm going to actually leave that. I'm not going to put any of this clay on that. Because I'm going to use that as a different textured surface. It's going to be very much a rock on the top of our hill. So you get the idea. That's where we're at with this. A little bit of water and you can smooth out your clay a little bit. Just making sure, you know, you don't want it super smooth, but at the same degree it helps bind the different clay parts that you stuck on in. And then obviously there's a little bit of a nook there that we want to emphasize, like so. There we go, got a nice rocky surface. And then what we're going to do, I'll get this covered, bear with me. And obviously we're going to do a little bit here as well, but I'm going to leave that for now because we'll go on to our next bit. So yeah, so this will take a good 24 hours to dry. There's quite a bit of clay there. I wanted this to be left as it is because I'm going to add a different texture material on that. And this will be a mixture of rock and earth and vegetation. So I'm happy with that. That's a nice base. And that's that. So the one thing in which I do want to do, it says, let me grab something to wipe my fingers, is I want to make a little palm tree. Now, obviously, with the vegetation I've got here, I can do that, but I haven't got a trunk. So you have to forgive me, my hands are dirty, but that's all right. I need them to be dirty anyway. So, quick look at the chat. 20 people watching still, and we will quick look to see who is saying what. So Pan's just saying there that Parcel Miniatures offer a nice range of figures, but like live resin, just really hard to find. Yeah, it is hard to find. It is out there, but they do some great figures. And if you're doing a Vietnam build and you want some MVA or Vietnamese soldiers, they do a good range of those. And I've not seen, there are some out there, but they're pretty basic, I've got to be honest, and I don't like them very much. So they're worth the extra to get hold of them. So yeah, give them a look, and make sure when you do, give us a shout out to say that we've sent you that way. Twisted Rail Hobbies is in, saying good morning, everyone. Good morning indeed. We've got Glenn Woodruff, who is saying morning all. Hope everyone is well. That looks interesting. Looking forward to see that done. Thank you very much. Nim's in the house saying, I'm alive, but barely. Bless her. Not slept very much then. Sprue and Glue saying, sorry I'm late. Hi in the chat. That's all right, mate. No problem. Thank you for being with us. And you're just all talking among yourselves at the moment, which is great. Great to see everyone saying good morning to everybody. That's lovely. So 21 people watching. Make sure to say hello. Tell me what you're up to. Wow, 47 minutes in already. Would you believe that? Right. So what have we done? We have basically got our base. That part sorted. That's fine. Now I want to make some vegetation, as I said, and one of the things I want to use is a tree. So how am I going to make a young palm tree? So here I've just got some 1 core wire, nice solid wire, and I'm just going to cut a little bit off. He says, ugh. Of course I picked the only pliers in which I've got, which aren't sharp. That's cool. So I've got a nice bit there. Obviously we can manipulate it as we want to in our build. I will strip off a part here at the end so it will stick into our model. We will do that now while I'm thinking about it. And like all things, preparation is key. Don't try this at home, children, because this is a surefire way of cutting yourself. Oh, nearly. Fighting me. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, so we've got a nice end that we can use to stick into our model. But as a palm tree, it's too smooth. So what we're going to do is I've got some wire here, some thin wire, and hopefully I can cut it. Get it out of the way. Put my goggles on so I can see what on earth I'm doing. So Erica's just put a link there for some super realistic palm trees. Yeah, you can buy them. Indeed. And he was just saying, so if you want a really tree kit, the ones I use for the LRDG Desert from Reality and Scale, yes, they are very good. But like all things, you can make them. Pretty easy to make, pretty cheap to make. So what we're going to do is you're just going to wrap some wire like this around our tree. Now, as you will see from that, there are the odd gap here and there, and there is a reason for that. We don't have to be too fussy, because all that's going to do is that's just going to add to the texture of our palm tree. So a little bit of electrical wire doesn't cost that much. And you can probably, if I'm honest, you can probably pick up a scrap bit of electrical wire quite easily at your local DIY store. So with this, obviously, I cut it a little bit shorter than I'd wanted. And we're just going to use our pliers to push that down. Another bit. I'll move that down so it marries up with that one. Now, if you take your time with this, unlike I am right now, I am rushing a little bit. Like so. I hope this is in the camera. It's difficult to make sure. Oh, this is where I could have done a bit of blue peat already, couldn't I? And got this all done already. So yeah, all you're doing is you're just adding this very thin. This is thin fuse wire. And you're just wrapping that around the wire that you've already got there. Like so. And I'll do one last bit, because we're almost where I want it to be. Now, obviously, what I've done is I've used several pieces of wire to do this. I would advise you do one piece, but it's not a problem, because obviously if you If you cut it too short like I have, then you can just add another bit on. No big deal. Oh. And really don't rush it. Right, now what we're going to do now, if I haven't mucked that up completely, right, I'm happy enough with that. So we're going to use our pliers just to bring that to bear. Now, the best way to do this, get yourself a bit of styrofoam. You're going to stick your you're going to stick your wire into the styrofoam like so. Okay. Now, with palm trees, you will find that the actually, let me just clip that a little bit off somehow. It's biting me. Right, with palm trees, you will find that the base isn't like that. So again, with our Das clay, hence why I didn't put it away, we're going to do two things. We're going to get a little bit of clay. Like this. And we're just going to make a base for our tree. Now, a bit too much clay there. Bring it in nice and tight. Now, I've got too much clay going on. I'll cut that off. And what we do is use now water. I'm just going to smooth this out. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of the clay, wet clay, like so. Oh, it's fighting me. There you go. Now, with this base, it looks a little bit boring. So we're going to make up a bit of root to roll out some clay. like so. And we'll fashion that in. Like so. Now, bear in mind, as I said, I am rushing this a little bit because obviously we are live. So I will fiddle with it a bit more. So last but no means least, what we need is on the top of our palm tree. It's a bit of a lump, really. So it's not too big. We don't have a big palm tree, but at the same degree, or a reasonable size. So what I would suggest you do, if you do this, try this technique, is do the top bit first, because I didn't. And this is where do the top bit first, because obviously it's easier to handle, basically. Like so. Right, so there you go. That's our palm tree. Now, I can't do anything more to it right now, but what I will do, one thing I will do before we do anything else, before I forget, so I will get a pin before your clay dries. You need to get a pin, and you need to put in here little holes as to where your palm tree leaves are going to go. Now, this is going to take quite a few. So just make some holes randomly around where you think your leaves will go. And then when we get those leaves that we've been playing with, we'll be able to just stick them straight into our palm tree top. Like so. Bear with me. So, as you can see, hopefully that's coming out. You can see the holes in the top there. And what I will do is I will get a little bit of medium, which I will paint over this. Once the clay is dried, I'll show you what I mean. You can either use one of two things. You can use a little bit of Mod Podge, or a little bit of gloss medium, or structural gel. Either works just as fine. And all you're doing is just going to paint a couple of layers over this to seal it, and then that should work. And then obviously we can we can bend this and do what we want with our tree. I'm going to make it a bit of a funky shape, like so. And that'll go into our heel eventually. So there you go. That is our palm. That's how to make a palm tree. Nice and simple and easy. As I say, you can buy them, but they're cheap and cheerful to make, and a bit of fun scratch building. So can't go wrong, really, can you? So there you go. So I'm going to let that dry with my base off to one side. He says, just tidying up after himself because he's going to hurt himself otherwise. Yeah, didn't think about that, did I? Bear with me. Got some wipes here. Always have a set of baby wipes. He says, set of baby wipes. Yeah, so that's the first stages of our palm tree done. First stage of our base done. What I'll do is I'll take some pictures as I go along to show you how that all comes together. But obviously next week we will we should be in a position where we'll be working with other vegetation, and the palm tree should be done. So there you go. Well, that took a little bit quicker than I thought. So let's have a quick look at the chat. Spring Glue just reminding you all, yes, indeed, if you could hit the like button or dislike button, depending on how you feel about today's program. If you do the dislike button, then please take the time and trouble to say what you didn't like about it. The reason being is that gives us the opportunity, or gives me the opportunity, to change things and do things that you might like. So yeah, helps obviously with the YouTube channel as well, with the algorithms and all that fun stuff. So there you go. And I'm just looking through what everyone else has been saying. Oh, I missed Stuart. Sorry, Stuart. He's saying good morning. I hope we're all well, indeed. Nim just saying there, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about 4.75 maybe. Yeah, it's morning and it's a Sunday. So there you go. I think I'm going to wrap things up. As I said, we're going to use these different things for the vegetation. What I'll do is I will show you how I do that next week. So we'll do leaves and vegetation next week. I'll make sure the base is all ready and done. I will concentrate on the base next week, and then about 2 weeks later, we can look at the actual physical figures itself and tidy it up and finish it off at that point. So it's just after 12 o'clock. It's a little bit early, but we're going to wrap it up there. I'd just like to say thank you very much for being with me on this Sunday. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, Model Officers Mess. If you're not a member, head over there and make sure you are a member. If you are a member of the Model Officers Mess and you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please make sure you do so. And the last couple of things in which I want to say about that, as I said before, there is the Buy Me a Coffee there for you to use, and that is purely to support the prizes for the group builds, etc. The group build that's running at the moment is Space. It doesn't seem to be a very popular one. I got to be honest, no one seems to be signed up for it so far as such. Myself and Carl will be doing something spacey in the next week or so watch out for that. And last but no means least, if we get to that 1,000, if we get over that 1,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel, there more than likely will be a giveaway that is being organised. So until next time, thank you very much for being with me, and make sure you have a great Sunday. Esther and Dave are coming up at 12:30, so make sure I'll see you again. Till then, ta-ra.